Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. But for our radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all could be with us. Also, tuning in through our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. Well, one of the things that we definitely heard about were more parents drinking during the pandemic. And, of course, if they're drinking at home, that means they're probably doing it in front of their kids as well. And we all know how observant kids are when it comes to watching what we do, including when it comes to alcohol consumption. We're here to talk to us about an interesting new survey that was done that kind of tackles this topic about alcohol consumption and what's happening with parents as well as kids. We're excited to welcome Erin Hildreth to our program. Erin is the Vice President of Communications for Responsibility.org. We're going to talk to her not only about the survey, but also about the work that they're doing and also a campaign that you all can be a part of. Erin, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Cyrus. I appreciate you having me.
So, Erin, we know that the pandemic has really done a whammy on all of us, but it really has impacted lots of our lives in other ways as well. How has the COVID-19 pandemic, Erin, affected alcohol consumption in the home?
Well, 50% of parents are reporting that their kids had more exposure to alcohol within their home because 23% of parents and adults are saying that they drank more within the walls of their house during the pandemic because, of course, restaurants and bars were not open, because their after-work happy hours were moved to Zoom happy hours, things like that. So when kids are seeing something, no matter what it is, it's time to talk about it. So it's definitely time to talk.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm not a parent myself, Erin, but definitely I've been hearing these stories that we've been talking about here on the radio side, so I'm so glad we have you here to talk about this. So what are some of the key findings of the survey that I mentioned that Responsibility.org did?
Sure. Well, absolutely. Like I said, that more parents are drinking within their home. 16% of parents drank in front of their kids more than they did prior. And again, it makes sense when you think about it. 10% included kids in their happy hours, so not necessarily serving them drinks, but having a happy hour with a girlfriend or two or some friends and inviting their kids along, where before it had been adults only. And 9% of adults became more lax with a child in terms of actual alcohol consumption. So that's something we absolutely don't want to see. The numbers are not horribly staggering, but any amount of underage drinking is something we would want to put an end to.
For sure. So how can parents initiate these conversations, Erin, that are so important when it comes to discussing underage drinking?
Sure. Well, these conversations start from a very young age, when you teach your kids right from wrong. Don't touch that, it's hot. Don't put your hand in the dog's mouth, he'll bite you. So that's where those conversations really start. And as your kids get more and more mature, the conversation gets more mature too. So you start talking about things like goal setting, navigating negative forms of peer pressure, ways to say no, things like that. But really, any conversation that you have with your kiddo is one that's going to open up the door for transparency, for more communication, for more truth, and for more information. So the only bad conversation is the one you didn't have, so get those conversations started.
I love that, and we love a great conversation around here. So, Erin, one of the things that Responsibility.org has done is you've launched this program, Ask, Listen, Learn. Talk to us about that.
So Ask, Listen, Learn is a program that provides resources for parents, videos and lesson plans for educators, and materials and games for kids. And it talks about how important it is to say no to underage drinking. It does it in a science-based way, so it talks about what the brain does, what alcohol does to it, and what that does to kids. So not only don't drink alcohol underage, but here's why. And I think the here's why is what sets Ask, Listen, Learn apart, because it answers the questions that kids have. Kids are smart. Kids ask questions, and so why can mommy or daddy or aunt and uncle have a cocktail and I'm not allowed? this answers those questions.
And I think this is something that we definitely want to be able to address so that we don't have more problems. We've dealt with enough in the past couple of years. We don't need to see an increase in other problems as well. So I'm so glad you could talk about this. Again, everyone, Erin Hildreth has been our guest. She's the Vice President of Communications for Responsibility.org, talking with us about their fascinating new survey and what we can learn from it. So, Erin, where can our audience go for more information, especially when it comes to finding out about Ask, Listen, and Learn?
So Ask, Listen, Learn is as easy as that. You can find it at asklistenlearn.org. April is Alcohol Responsibility Month. It starts on Friday, so for all kinds of information about a balanced lifestyle and talking about alcohol, you can go to responsibility.org.
All right, Erin, thank you so much for this great information. Really appreciate it, and you're welcome back here anytime.
All right, thank you so much, Cyrus.
More than welcome, and we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live, part of our News You Can Use segment here at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live, and let's go make today amazing. Take care.